What do I watch? A classic Miss Lewis Mean Adventure figure adventure? Or the horror of Fang Rock? Just a boring old day watching my old YouTube videos, looking on the phone, looking around. Wait. Hello? Oh. Hello, technical advisor of the Who Corner, Gilbert. What is it? What do you want? You've lost the Peter Capaldi mask. That's the core part of our show. You can't lose the Peter Capaldi. Oh, you've lost the Peter Capaldi mask. I mean, could have lost it on Demons of the Punjab week, but this week, oh Christ, this week was important. It's ringing me again. Gilbert, what is it now? I can still use the Ood mask. Well, maybe I don't want to use the Ood mask. Thank you, bye. Anyway, today we've got my review of the Tsuranga Conundrum on the Who Corner, episode 5. Plus, we've got some games with myself, and we've got another edition of Who Will Help. Plus, there's a preview for Demons of the Punjab. So please sit tight and get ready for episode 5 of the Who Corner. Let's watch this. Rumble in the Jungle by Lewis Moon and Daddy Cool. Part 1. Hello. Welcome once again, as I say, to another edition of the Who Corner, episode 5, the Tsuranga Conundrum. Obviously, I'm going to get this out to you on Tuesday or Wednesday, or probably not Monday, but I'm guessing Tuesday. Tuesday's my best bet. And I've just watched the episode, literally just now. So, first off, I'd like to say my Oreo related snack of the week. It's this product, which is a Snowball Oreo, or whatever it's called. Again, product placement warning. So, there we go. This week's episode, so you may know, if you watched last week's show, I didn't like Arachnids in the UK. I really like Rosa. I didn't like Arachnids in the UK. This week was the deciding one, because I liked 2 episodes of the series. I didn't like the other 2, so this was the one that really would make me think, do I like the series or not? And this episode, I hate to be so negative about it, was the worst Doctor Who episode in a long, long time. One of the worst Doctor Who episodes I have watched since I started watching the show. It reminded me of a sort of Sylvester McCoy story in many respects, in terms of I didn't like it and it seemed like a plot, such an unoriginal and textbook plot that seemed to have just been ripped straight out of Alien, and it's just really annoying. Chibnall seems to just rip off horror movies. I thought this week the companions were dreadful. Usually I'm here to say Bradley Walsh is brilliant. Wasn't Bradley Walsh's fault, because usually he's great in the episodes. However, this week, even Graham, as well as Yaz and Ryan, was just so terribly written and just so unnecessary and so what's the word? They're just not needed. I'm not feeling anything from Ryan and Yaz. This week's episode, Yaz said about 2 lines, and they all felt like they were just there because they had to be there, and I feel this series suffers from having too many companions, and this week's episode in particular just had too many. Jodie's Doctor, it's not Jodie's fault, but I think she's terribly written. Chris Chibnall, as I've learned from his stories, is not a good writer. He really isn't. Jodie is not saying anything, but Jodie's probably one of the best things about this episode, and that is not saying anything. The Pating, the creature, was too cutesy and Pixar-like, and it was embarrassing, because it tried to pose it as some sort of threat, but really it was just... It was just crap. It really was. The story, once again, lacks substance and originality. And in terms of character development, this week's episode didn't do it for me. I thought the pregnant man storyline on the side was dreadful. Just so unnecessary. I didn't like the pregnant man storyline at all. And the supportive cast were just really uninspiring, really unoriginal, really bland. They didn't offer anything that supportive cast members haven't offered us. I couldn't remember their names. I couldn't tell you their names. I couldn't tell you what defined them. They just weren't good characters. All the characters in this were really poorly written. And when Chris Chibnall often retires plot and threat, which in this week's episode he didn't retire it as much, it's just both of those things were done craply. You expect there to be strong characters. This week's episode proved there are not strong characters. And it proved that the series is not a strong one. Good side, I'll be positive. I liked the set. I thought the hospital was really well designed. Quite sterile. Quite, but I thought it looked good again. And that's probably the defining thing. And also how it sounded, I thought. So Ganakanola's score is really atmospheric. and it suits the episode, and I think his score is one of the only things that I can take away from this episode and pretty much all of the other episodes of the series. It was a poor resolution. It was just a poor ending to the episode. A poor ending to a poor episode. And it's the worst episode in a long time, as I say. Arachnids in the UK was bad, but it still had its merits in terms of some of the cast were good, and some of the emotional connections were good. This week's episode didn't have many merits at all, and I just found it a pretty poor, forgettable, lackluster, irritating, plot hole filled 50 minutes of Doctor Who. And if I was not a fan of the show, if I didn't do the podcast, if I didn't do the show, the YouTube channel, the website, this would have been the episode where I would have turned off. This would have been my last string with Doctor Who, because this isn't good at all. What did you think of the Tsuranga Conundrum? Please leave your thoughts in the comments below. We're going to go over to Who Will Help, and then we'll get back here and we'll go over to the WhoMeter. I think I'm going to eat an Oreo because I deserve it after watching that episode. Hello, and welcome back to another infomercial about our wonderful Who Helping Society. It's like a Doctor Who Appreciation Society, but we don't appreciate Doctor Who, and we're not a society. So we'll leave the societying of Doctor Who appreciations over to DWAS, shall we? Anyway, who are we? We are not the Doctor Who Appreciation Society. We are Who Will Help. We will, that's what, no who. Yes, that's our catchphrase. Anyway, after a little bit of a rough scratch with Peter Capaldi, he was, well, we found this down by the Who Will Help corner, thanks to Gilbert. We know officially what happened over there. We learnt that Peter Capaldi got hit in the other eye, so it's now been out, and he's having another operation to have new eyes, because he doesn't have any eyes in there anymore after what happened a little while ago. Anyway, we are here to help your Doctor Who related problems, and I believe we've got another caller on the line.
Hello, I'm a Dalek, and I was just wondering whether you could help me with my Doctor-related problem, because you're Who Will Help, and I heard that you could help Who-related problems, because that's like your catchphrase. We will, that's not what Who, no, it's we will, that's what, no, Who. Yeah, that's it. Anyway, I was wondering whether you could help me. I can't stop singing. I'm a singing Dalek.
How is that a Doctor Who related problem?
Well, I'm a Dalek.
Well, can you show me what you sing? How you've got a problem singing? It's not my area of expertise. I only help Who related problems, because that's the thing in the title. Look, Who. We've even got that little thing that goes through the Doctor Who logo. I mean, it doesn't go through the H like it does on the normal Doctor Who logo, but we're not the Doctor Who Appreciation Society or anything, and people need to understand that, for goodness sake. Now show us.
Okay, I'll show you. Can you move the camera up a little bit, please? Thank you. Thank you. Are you ready? Doctor in distress. Let all answer his SOS. Doctor in distress. Bring him back now, we won't take less. Hoo da 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 da. I can't remember the rest of the lyrics.
I see how this could be a Doctor Who related problem. I'll be over in a jiffy. Now, before you say anything, just like to say, this is what's happened to the WhoMeter. It's gone. It's just... This is usually the wall that the WhoMeter goes on. I think it watched tonight's episode and died. Or this week's episode, because you're watching this in another time than I am on. So, I'll describe it to you rather than actually showing it to you, because not even Blue Tack can hold this up. So, over here, we have, on this side of the paper, we have my rankings of the episode. So, we have out of 10, and then the episode on number on the other row. And then we have performance scales on the scale of 1 to 10. So, Tsuranga Conundrum, as a whole, gets a 4 out of 10. Which isn't good. Really, it isn't good as a score. That is not good. I tend to stay usually in the 6s and 7s, but a 4 is dreadful for a Doctor Who episode score. And I'm being pretty generous. Jodie Whittaker gets a 6. Bradley Walsh gets a 5. Mandy Gill gets a 4. And Tosin Cole gets a 4. I thought the cast this week didn't pull it out of the bag. So Jodie gets the performance of the week. But that's only because she was stronger in this episode than the other 3. And that's not because Bradley Walsh... I don't like Bradley Walsh, because I do like Bradley Walsh. If you've watched this show beforehand, Bradley Walsh is probably the best thing about the series for me. But this week's episode turned that around. I thought the companions were awfully written. And I'm really disappointed by this week's episode, and how it ranks on the WhoMeter. So, yeah, that's how it goes. And the WhoMeter is broken. I think if I remember, I need to create another WhoMeter, because I need to place it on here, because otherwise it's a bit annoying. You probably can't see it anyway. By the way, pen of the week is this pen. Oh look, there's still a spider up there. Oh. Let's call him Timmy. Let's go over to some games with myself. Yes. Okay. You say that We're on. Okay, we're on. Hello. I've been told by Gilbert that I've got to do a Who-related game again this week. I've got to stop watching Rumble in the Bloody Jungle because I was meant to do a game just for you guys. Just for you guys. You know how much this means to me. Because I've stopped watching my own figure adventure, my own first YouTube video. I just wanted to look back on it, goddamn you. Anyway, today's game actually initially relied completely on the Peter Capaldi mask. But instead we are going to be doing a guess the character on another character. So, today we are going to give you... You've got to guess what character from the Doctor Who universe I am giving you the clues for. 1. They're not Peter Capaldi. 2. They've been mentioned on the show. And 3. Three. They're not John Pertwee. So, could I suppose, Lewis, we'll see you back in the studio. Could the person please reveal themselves? Could the person please reveal themselves? For goodness sake, the show's a... Ah! Hello there, I thought I'd reveal myself. I'm the Ood. Nice to see you. Lewis Moon's gone away. Lewis, where have you gone? Don't worry, Timmy. It's fine. The Tsuranga Conundrum is over now. It's okay. What's coming up in next week's episode? You'll find out in a little bit. Yes, you may think I am slowly going mad, and I am slowly going mad. Actually, not slowly, actually quite quickly going mad, because I wasn't this mad about an hour ago. Or 2 hours ago. So, let's get into another instalment of Who Will Help. Hello, I'm here now. I'm the person from Who Will Help. And it looks like you're a Dalek in distress, singing Doctor in Distress. Pun, not funny. It wasn't intended to be a pun. It's just meant to be a statement. Oh, well, it sounded like a pun. Anyway, could you show some more? No, I said I didn't know any more of the lyrics. And it doesn't seem like too much of a problem. Surely you could just stop singing. I can't stop singing, and that's the bloody problem. Do you want to be exterminated? I mean, I can't even do that. And that's surely more of a problem. Why is your mouth moving when mine is? I don't know. What's your name? Gilbert. Ah, that's the name of my technical advisor. You're voicing me, aren't you? No, I'm not, am I? Well, what are you doing?
I don't know. Just show us some more, okay? Doctor Who, hey, the TARDIS, Doctor Who, hey, the TARDIS, Doctor Who. Doctor Who, the TARDIS, Doctor Who, hey, the TARDIS, Doctor Who. You're just singing Doctor in the TARDIS, not Doctor in the TARDIS or Doctoring the TARDIS, but it's Doctor in the TARDIS with no G. Serious jockin. Correct. Can you go away now, please? I think I've solved my problem. I think I'll learn to live with it. Are you sure about that, Gilbert? What? Yes, I'm sure about that. I will learn to live with it. Okay. That was good. Yeah. Well done, Gilbert. Do you think I operated that well? You know? Doctor in distress. Let all answer his SO. We're still recording.
I was watching The Who Corner from my bed, and I thought it was terrible. Definitely that segment about who will help. It was absolutely atrocious, and I thought I'd better turn off the television. I mean, I've got no eyes. I couldn't see it, but from what I could hear, it was absolutely atrocious. I think they should cancel it now. Because of them, I've got 0 eyes. Yes, because of them, I've lost both my eyes. And I think I should go into another legal dispute with them. So there you go. We'll have another installment of Who Will Help next week. Next week's episode is episode 6 of the new series. That means right now we are in the halfway point of series 11. Which for me is dreadful. A dreadful sign, because it shows how poor this series is. And it's this episode, as I said, that made me decide this series is poor. And so far, I did a series earlier on in the year, or maybe last year, which ranked all of the series, and this is actually my least favourite New Who series. It's the worst one since Sylvester McCoy's first series, and that had Paradise Towers in and Time in the Rani, so that series was dreadful. It's not as bad as that, but, you know. Shows how much I dislike it. Anyway, next week's episode is called The Demons of the Punjab. It sees the Doctor and her new best friends, not really new, her best friends, go on a trip to 1947, Pakistan, India, because Yaz wants to find out something about her grandmother's past that she's unsure of. So they go there, but they discover there are demons haunting the land. Ooh. Ooh. Okay, I will start off by saying next week's episode is written by Vinny Patel, so I'm slightly more open to like it, because it's not written by Chris Chibnall. There's 4 straight stories not written by Chris Chibnall, which is quite a good sign. If the next 4 episodes are as poor as the last 2 have been, then it shows it's not necessarily Chris Chibnall's fault, but instead the direction that the show is going and the writing team as a whole. I've got a feeling the next few weeks will be slightly better. We literally, when I'm recording this, I know nothing about what's happening in 2 weeks' time, or 3 weeks' time, or 4 weeks' time, or 5 weeks' time in Doctor Who. So I can't tell you what's happening in episode 7, I can't tell you a title, I can't tell you a plot, I can't tell you anything, other than it stars Lee Mack and Julie Hesmondauer. That's all I know. But, yeah, Demons of the Punjab is written by Vinny Patel. It seems like an intriguing one. The trailer looks interesting. It looks more original than the last few stories have been. It doesn't look as textbook Who. It looks like we're going to explore something we haven't explored with the show yet, and hopefully it will be just as good as Rosa, or about as good as Rosa, because usually the historicals are the weaker ones of the series. This series, they're the stronger. This series, I'm hoping they're the stronger ones of the series. So I'm looking forward to seeing this episode a bit more than I was today. I must say, this week's episode, I went in with the lowest hopes possible, and I came out with even lower hopes, because it was drivel. But it just, I gave it 4. It's too generous, probably. I'm looking forward to seeing some more new Who next week, but I'm going in with low hopes again, because hopefully I'll be pleasantly surprised like I was with Rosa. But anyway, you'll get to see, if you tune in next week, you'll get to see what I think of Demons of the Punjab. So that'll be next Tuesday, probably, episode 6 of the Who Corner. And on that, we'll have another edition of Who Will Help. We'll have another edition of Games. And we'll have a preview for episode 7. Hopefully we know what that is by then. But I'm hoping we don't know anything about that yet. Or at least I don't think we know anything about that yet. Oh, and there it is. The Peter Capaldi mask. Oh. There we go. We can have him back next week. I haven't watched through Who Will Help. I don't know whether he's in it this week. Plot holes, like Tsuranga Conundrum. Anyway, see you next week.